The IRAP Partner Portal is a new tool that we're really thrilled for you to see, and I think it's going to be super useful for you. Access is by invitation only, so it's really for you. It's for the leads of national programs, and we're piloting it at the moment. So there's two systems. So we have an internal system that our IRAP staff see, and we have this partner portal, which takes some of the data out of the internal system and reveals it. Both have been made possible thanks to the support of FedEx and our major donor, the FIA Foundation. So really wonderful initiative that they have made possible for us. So to give you a sense of the whole picture, within IRAP Connect, our internal system, it is linking 20,000 contacts in 5,500 organisations that we work with. It's profiling the work of 300 countries and states. That's where you're working, and it's profiling the biannual metrics. So each 6 months we gather metrics for each country, and we're including those there. News and activities of what's going on in all the countries is there. There's 1,300 knowledge articles, so things like reports, research, journal articles, presentations, anything like that that we've found really valuable. We've trained 38,000 people across the world, so it's tracking those trainings and the attendees, and it's also linking to the completion of individual training topics for people. So it's helping to sort of see that building of accreditation and building of capacity within countries. We've accredited 155 suppliers, so we are managing that in our IRAP Connect internal system, and we also invite clients to provide feedback on those suppliers. So we track MOUs and license agreements and the strategic projects that you're working on all around the world, and that $80 billion of road investment that is linked to those projects. So that's all in the internal system. So what you're seeing here is what reflects out to you. This is the partner portal. So what we're seeing here is the news, the knowledge, projects and training that is happening around the world. So when you open up to the homepage, you'll see the country that you're in. So for me, this is Australia. So what we can see is that there is a local AUSRAP program. I can see the lead, Michael. So if you're in another country that you're interested in what Australia is doing, you think there could be some similarities, you can reach out to Michael easily now with his details. You can see the metrics of what is happening in Australia, and you can investigate the vaccines big data tool. So if you haven't seen vaccines, it is a super valuable resource for you. There for your country, you can see the impact of injury, how safe the roads are, the road attributes that matter, and the business case for safer roads. Not all countries have vaccines data, so have a look and go in there and explore not just your own country, but others. As we scroll down, you can see the top most recent 5 news articles for the country, the 5 latest projects, 5 latest trainings, and then the 5 latest knowledge. And I can link them through to see either any of those records or to see all of them. If I just go back up to the top, go page by page, you can see for news. So this is linking all news occurring around the world. So think of this almost like an activity list of what's happening in countries with links out from here for further information. So here's just a list of all of them, but I can actually filter here by country. So for example, if I'm in Nigeria, I could say, let's have a look at Nigeria, apply the filter, and now I can see all the latest news of what is happening in the country. I can click on these records here to have a look at more information, or I can actually link straight out to the media or the actual document itself. I can also look at an IRAP region. So for example, if you were coming up to present at the next week's Asia Pacific Regional Road Safety Observatories meeting, you could say, I'm really keen to see maybe for the date range of the last 6 months, what's happened in the Asia Pacific region, and shape your presentation around that. So you can see the big list here. I can also search just by a keyword. So for people in Europe, you'll be very familiar with the Sensor project. We have a range of different news articles here, linking all the way back. So you can click through to see some of this information. And importantly, you can contribute. So if you click on this, it brings up a form that you can send us a news story and we can bring it in to the system, and we can also give it global promotion. So importantly, anything that you can contribute here can go on and go to external promotion, or it can simply be just about you building your national records library. See this as us providing you with a free system that will enable you to track everything going on in your country and build on what is already here based on 20 years of IRAP knowledge. We can go on then to knowledge. And this is the reports and the presentations and the journal articles and things that exist. So if I have a look here at knowledge, you can see that some are green and some are greyed out. So if it's green, it means I can click through for more information on it. So in this case, this journal is one that just came out. I can see that Curtin University were published in the Journal of Environmental Research and Public Health with an article on the lives saved in low and middle income countries by Bloomberg Initiative. So that was looking at a validation of that methodology. You can link through to that article. You can read a bit of description. You can see the countries that it's relevant to. So it's all there for you to have a look at. You can also see for ones that are greyed out, this means that it's fine for you to know that it exists and really helpful for you to know what exists in your country, but we might not be able to have that jurisdiction to release it. So what you can do in that case is request the article. That will come through as an email to me. I can then aim to put you in touch with the author and let them decide on a case-by-case basis what they're happy to share. So if we look at this one in terms of knowledge here, and just again, if we looked at sensor, and I apply my filter. So see, I'm using these little asterisks. What that means, it's called a wildcard in IT speak, just means it will find that word anywhere in a string of words. So you can see here, there's actually 42 different sensor documents. That is a huge library of information. So this knowledge area is basically a library for you to investigate. You can go through, bring these up, download them, seek reports for further information. So really valuable for you. And again, you can contribute your own knowledge. So importantly, as I mentioned, that there's the different layers of visibility. This is really important because we want this to be a resource for you to build your own national profile. And we want you to know that information that you put in this system can be protected. So there's 3 levels of visibility. It can be openly available where people can download it. It can be shown as just like that grayed out title only with the option that you can then allow people on a case-by-case basis to have access, or we can completely hide it in IRAP's system and it's not shared publicly, but it exists then as documented knowledge for your area. So keep that in mind. And you can search different keywords. For example, you might be interested to find out what's happening in pedestrian safety. So you could search by a keyword. So the other spot is projects. So right now in the system, it's largely showing projects that are IRAP led because obviously this is our system, but we understand that projects are occurring all over the world led by you, and the ones IRAP does is really just a tiny portion of those. So what we're really hoping is that over time, the number of projects that you're contributing will grow so that when we come in and have a look, for example, at what is happening in Greece, we'll be able to see a nice big list of projects, and that will help others. So for example, if it's EIB wanting to fund some work, they can come in and see what the history is of activity. So I can look, for example, at what clients have done work. So I could, for example, say I'm keen to see what 3M is working on. I can search by region or date, and I can also search again by a keyword. So you'll see there's 2 screens, active and completed projects and pipelines, so ones that are coming up. So by changing that, I can investigate the different statuses of projects. But if, for example, I wanted to say, I'd like to see a little bit more on the Pacific Corridor, project that occurred in Latin America. So we can see that one occurred in 2011 and one in 2020. And I can actually click through then to have a look at those projects. So we can see here how many kilometres were assessed, the nature of the assessments that were done, the project manager, so you could get in touch then with Agustin to ask him questions, was led by IDB. I can see a brief description of it. I can also see a web link for more information. And then I can see some news titles. So I could actually click through to these news pieces to read more. And when it comes to reports that are produced in association with knowledge, they can be uploaded here and shared or not, depending on what is appropriate to that project. So the other area is training. Again, with training, we understand that training occurs online and in countries all around the world. So some of that is run by IRAP, and many of trainings are run by yourselves with some IRAP content. So this is all the trainings that we are aware of occurred, so training 38,000 people. And this is quite useful if, for example, we wanted to look at Kazakhstan, what has happened in terms of building capacity. I apply the filter, then I can see all of the different trainings that have run over time and how many people it attracted in attendance. I can also, for example, do a keyword, and then it will bring up those designs courses, and I can combine those filters. So lots of options. Come in and just explore. The other area is the forum. So here is really just an area for chat. So you can come in, ask questions, participate in some of the threads, and connect with each other, getting to know each other better, and also just throwing out some, if you're finding something a challenge, you can pop a question in here and ask other people to contribute. The threads can be followed across all the different interest areas. So as said, it's going to be restricted access for the national leads, and really look forward to you coming into the system and sharing what you know. I really encourage you to not be afraid of it. You can see both your country and others, and really want you to consider this, as I said, being a system that has been gifted to us from FedEx and the Foundation, to be a system you can use to record all the great things happening in your country and have it all here in one place. So if your staff move on or there's a change of leadership, that knowledge isn't lost. It's there for the next person. And the knowledge that's in here has been built over 20 years. So there's a lot of documents and history here.